All right.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back with season 2. Dose.
Hoo-dee-hoo.
Cha-cha.
Episode 1 of season 2.
Yup.
Hey, you guys smell that?
No, what?
It smells nasty.
Alex?
Camelone?
Is it your cologne?
Is your cologne?
That's right.
Hello?
Stay fresh, stay hidden.
Stay fresh, stay hidden.
No, but seriously, it does smell nasty.
It actually does smell like nasty. I didn't even bring my cologne to.
It was
Do you
Alex.
smell it?
I must have the vid.
Have you smelled it?
Yeah, I don't smell anything either. Maybe it's on your guys' side.
No, it does smell bad. Don't even smell me, dude.
You have cologne?
I don't know.
I don't know what it could be.
Anyways.
All right, let's get to it. It's gonna be some crazy stories right now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with season 2, we're gonna pop it off with some crazy stories, and I think we want to hear from Alex. Who are you texting?
My mom.
Who are you texting that there's like a chinchilla picture? I want to know what that's about.
It was a chihuahua.
What's that?
I don't even know what that
What's
is.
a chihuahua?
You don't know what a chihuahua is?
No.
Is it like the chupacabra?
No, it's a chihuahua.
Oh, you could have just said chihuahua.
I know. Why didn't you just
Why
say
did you say
Chihuahua?
chihuahua?
Because that's how you spelled it, right?
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Chihuahua. Get out of here, dude.
Tomato.
Okay,
Chihuahua, chihuahua.
Stop making noise.
Alex, tell us your story.
Mine's not that like crazy or cool as your guys'. I was a nice kid. I didn't, cause trouble, any trouble, and I was always just like obedient and stuff. But I think like the craziest thing that I can remember was
You're just crazy now,
Yeah.
I'm just crazy now. But when I was young, I was actually like a little.
like a niña.
I still am a little niña, but I'm a bigger niña now. So back then, when I was like in high school, I would hang out with a bunch of, I guess not random kids, but like I would go to the
Special.
park, and I would go to my best friend's house at that time, and
What did you guys do at his house?
we would just play video games or hang out and go to the park. So why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. It just sounds weird.
It's just a little sus.
Sure.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we basically would walk to the park sometimes and just hang out there.
Just you and your friend? Just you and your friend?
No,
I'm
no.
just gonna
Did
mad
you
dog
guys-
you the whole time.
Did you
Alright,
guys
I'll
hold?
look over here.
Did you guys hold hands while you guys were crossing the street?
So we would walk together, and it was in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Why are you holding the mic like that?
How?
You're just holding it like this, like if you want to keep them all to yourself.
It's my precious. And this one time they called the police on us.
For what?
What were you guys doing?
Okay, you got to give more context.
Yeah.
You can't just say, "Oh, I was at the park with my friend."
And then
Got
the police
pop-
showed up. VPD showed up, and we were like, "What?" They were like, "Oh yeah, we got a anonymous call about a drug deal going on." And I'm like, "What the heck?" Like,
How old were you?
I was probably like 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
How much drugs did you have on you?
And how much
The
drugs?
question
did you
is, how
sell?
much drugs did I not have? with me?
It's like, how much is a kilo?
How much is a kilo in pounds?
3.
Wait, really?
James, is this true?
No, that's like a really.
Oh no, 3
No,
3
three,
3
three.
Holy guacamole! Holy guacamole!
Man.
Well, if anyone didn't watch the last episode for season 1, we talked about the numbers. Mason,
What do the numbers
mean?
mean? Numbers mean something.
That was another
All
story.
right.
Yeah.
With
So finish your story.
Yeah,
'Cause
that-
so there's
Dazzle
drugs.
there's drugs
There's
involved.
police.
You had a lot of them.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
it was not like we did have drugs.
Well,
Well,
you just didn't get caught. With
We
it.
didn't buy them. We already consumed them. So, we got rid of the evidence. So they show up right at this lady officer and a guy officer, and they're like, "Oh, we just gotta," and we were young, so we were kind of like scared, and we're like, "Oh, we'll just do whatever they tell us," and they're like, "We gotta see your IDs and stuff like that," and I'm like, and then later on, I was like, I didn't have to show them IDs, so I don't even think I had an ID, but I'm like, we're just here, blah blah. Oh, they asked us like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" Oh, and we're like, "Oh, we're just walking to the park," and he's like, "Oh, okay, it's just we got a call about like suspicious activity that apparently there was a drug deal." And they told us that, and we're like, oh, okay, well, this was after like they searched us or asked like what we had.
Did they
And-
perform a cavity search?
No, I did it on the officer though. So
Did he have, did he have tooth gems?
it's just it wasn't a thing back then.
Oh, okay.
This is probably like more than 10 years ago, dude.
Gotcha, my bad.
So and we're like, what the heck? My friend and I were like, that's weird. Like, who called on us? It's probably because we were Hispanic, so racist. And the officers were like, oh yeah, you know, they just told us that they saw like a someone pull over next to you guys and they handed you something and then they drove away. And we're like, oh yeah, it was like my buddy's, like my friend's brother who was dropping off his sweater, and then he just gave it to him, but it was his sweater, you know, no drugs yet. So then we're like, all right, whatever. And then they were like, oh, okay, you know, so you guys can do whatever you were doing, we'll head out and stuff. And we're like, oh, and back then we were kind of stupid and we're like, hey, can we get in the back of your car? Not thinking.
Wait, you're asking
The
to get into
officer if we can go inside the patrol vehicle. And they're like, yeah, sure. And we're just chilling, and they're like, you know, showing us their guns, and we're just chilling. And this was like the good old days when, you
Good
know,
old days.
the good old days, man.
Good old days.
When America was great.
When drug dealers
Yeah.
used to get shot.
And not the cops. So, and we were just chilling, and yeah, they were really cool. And then we're just like, all right, cool, bye, deuces, and that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for sharing, Alex.
You're welcome. Why'd you roll your eyes?
Where was the, so wait, what was the
Yeah.
what was the crazy part?
No, I don't know. It was just they didn't.
He got in the back, he got in
we
the back
were
of a cop car.
No, yeah, it was the crazy part was actually we hid the drugs before they actually found us with the drugs. We put them away. We kind of like put them on the side of like the sidewalk.
It's
It
like
looked
he got the
with a black
drugs and
bag.
put them in the cop car.
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
planted them.
I planted
and then you
them.
called the
Them.
cops on them.
Yeah, I'm like, hey.
I have these cops trying to sell me drugs.
Like, it sounds ridiculous, but you need to check out this patrol vehicle. I'll give you the plate. And then they, you know, another patrol vehicle comes, and then they're like searching, and they find the drugs in their patrol vehicle.
Wow.
I'm like, I've never been here. Like, I don't know. So they got arrested. Officers had to arrest the other officers. It was pretty
Wow.
funny.
Nice.
And then they left, and I took the car with the drugs and
That's
drove
called
away.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were playing a video
He
game.
said, yeah. He said, yeah. I'm not.
And then I got my 4th star in the tank came.
The SWAT was following
The
me.
SWAT came out of nowhere.
All right, Danny, give us your crazy story.
Crazy story. All right. So there's a chinchilla one time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I have crazy stories, but I don't remember them. Remember, my whole childhood was a blur.
He was beat a lot.
I forgot. a lot.
We left him
He was
alone.
left
I
behind.
think I might have like long-term
Memory loss?
Memory loss. Is it memory loss?
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it? 'Cause,
Memory
like-
loss.
Like,
You
Does it
lose
count as memory loss when it's just you suppressing it?
oh man, maybe my conscience, my subconscious
mom.
is just suppressing it. Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't want to remember that. You don't want to think about that.
Don't go there,
Don't,
Dad.
don't go
about
there.
that anymore.
That's
Don't
a
go
dark
there.
place.
That was a dark place. Don't go there.
You're in the light now.
Yeah, you're good.
Happy
now.
thoughts. Happy thoughts.
Just focus on the moment. No,
He was
I
abused.
mean, I don't know, man. Crazy stuff. Like, man, the only thing that comes to mind at the moment. Is
Didn't you
like,
get lost?
where?
Like it when you were little?
I'm lost right now, dude. When I was little, no, my parents left me like everywhere,
Oh.
like church, school. Oh, you know, one
If
time.
you were my kid, I would leave you everywhere too.
Did I talk about one time when I was like super young when I walked to school like super early in the morning?
Oh,
Oh, and
you
it
thought
was a
there was
Saturday,
school, but
right?
Yeah.
there was
No,
it's
it
cool.
wasn't. Oh, actually, okay, so that's happened a couple times. but okay, the Saturday one's a different one. But actually, the Saturday one was I was in high school then. By that point. But
You were in college,
Okay,
dude.
but-
This was like 2 years ago.
so when I was like in third grade, yeah, I want to say third grade actually. I was third grade. How old are you when you're a third grader?
8. No, seriously, 8.
8 years old?
7 or
Yeah.
8 years
That was a
old.
little quick. Why do you know
Depending how
that?
many times you got held back.
Why do you know that number right away?
No, you
what-
answered that pretty
You
quickly.
under, yeah, like if you know a third grader.
Yeah,
already.
no, I know a second grader. It was myself when I came into, or when I came from Mexico to the U.S. I started second grade, and I remember I was 7 years old.
How convenient.
Okay.
Okay,
Keep an eye
continue
on
with your
you.
story, Danny.
Anyways, okay, so yeah, I was about a third grader. I would say 8 years old. You know, so we lived right next to my school. So there was my house, you know, our house, and then the elementary school was like super close by, like walking distance. I would go walking. And so I woke up. Usually, I would get waken up by like my parents, my mom, my dad, whatever. You know, I just start getting dressed. You know, take a shower, whatever, get dressed. You know, go to school. this time I woke up a little early. I didn't know what the time was. I didn't know what time I went to school. So I got up early. Everybody was still asleep. I'm just like, all right, well, just get dressed. Let's go to school. Got dressed. Went to school. You know, I think I even ate before. Like, I think that's how early I got up. Like, to a point where I ate breakfast. I went to school. Nobody's here. Nobody's around except for like a janitor. Yeah, dude. So I'm like walking around, go to my class, knock on the door, seeing if they open it. Like, nobody, dude. I'm still kind of tired, so there's a bench nearby. So I just lay down on the bench and just like start sleeping. And then I get woken up by my dad. He's like, "Dude, it's still way too early. Let's go back home." So yeah, it was probably like I probably got there like at 5.
5 in the morning.
Was
Yeah.
there sunlight yet?
Not really. It was kind of dark. It was kind of dark. But yeah, it was like 5. It was like very, very like you couldn't see the sun yet, but it was kind of light outside, you know. And yeah, so think about that. So apparently my dad like they woke up, you know, and they're like, "What the heck?" Because I guess they heard like someone up or whatever, or their door closed or something. So they went looking. Like they looked at my room and they're like, "Where's
Danny?"
You know, like where's he at? And I think they woke you up and they asked you like, "Hey, where's Danny at?"
Yeah.
And
I was like, what the heck? I thought he sounded like he was in the living room.
Yeah, and so apparently, yeah, so like they were like talking like, "Hey, where'd he go?" So eventually, my dad, you know, he gets dressed, he goes, looks for me, and he talks to a janitor. He's like, "Hey, have you seen like a little kid? Like he's probably like this big, you know?" Like, of course, like
that big.
The height didn't matter. The height didn't like the real thing that stood out was this big.
The
you
width.
know?
The width.
Yeah, the
His
width.
circumference.
He's all forget
girth
the
to
length,
it.
the width.
It's like a little ball.
The girth, like hello, and like he straight up. So yeah, the janitor like realized.
Oh, yeah, a meatball.
I saw him. Yeah, he's over there. He's laying on that bench over there.
It was like the fat one that's sleeping.
The fat one
Oh,
sleeping.
yeah. There's not that many. There's one right
that
there.
ball over there. Yeah, he's over there. And yeah, so he woke me up. We went
Back home. And knocked out.
And then I'm telling you, dude, I was a really chubby kid growing up. I'm still a little chubby, but you know, I think I ate again. So yeah,
Comfort food.
Second
Yeah,
breakfast.
comfort food. Second breakfast happened before even nutrition or breakfast, you know. So yeah, that was kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Other than that, there's the egging. I don't know if you guys want to hear about that.
The egg thing.
The
Well,
egg
now you
thing.
got to talk about it.
The
since-
egging.
Oh, you egged cars.
Yeah, around like I was probably in high school. We would go egging,
Oh yeah.
just like drive by
Just
egging.
for fun.
You know,
Yeah.
like we'd be driving and just throwing eggs.
Did you throw bacon as well?
Bacon?
Yeah.
No. Who was it? You that threw weenies? I think maybe we might have thrown
Ooh.
weenies too.
We've thrown weenies at a school, but the big one that we did was we, instead of like throwing eggs at someone, we decided like, let's get creative. So we went to one of those 24-hour donut places,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and we asked for
Katie Donuts.
Yeah, we bought like
The donut holes.
$20 worth of like, it was like $20 or $30 worth of donut holes.
Mm.
Those things are like,
Were they powdered?
Quick question:
They
Why
were
do they
kinda
call them
powdered.
down? Why do they call them donut holes?
'Cause
If
they're
they're
balls.
balls,
because
I think they're supposed to be the center, right?
The
The
center
center of the
so it's
donuts.
the whole of it.
Yeah.
but it's a ball.
Yeah, but
That's why. Imagine
they
like
call
if
it
a
a hole.
donut was just full and you get it and you stab it into it and you have the ball.
Well, you have the ball. You don't have the hole.
It was the hole that you removed.
Why do you
hole
call?
is
I don't
why do you
know.
call
It doesn't make
footballs
sense.
footballs if they're not a ball?
What'd you say?
A ball is round, isn't it?
No, a sphere is round.
Okay, continuing on with the story because you guys don't even make any sense.
And then the Earth is
Um,
flat.
So we got a whole bunch of those donut holes, and we started driving around and pretty much donating people, and we'd scream at them.
Wait, what were you doing?
We were donating people.
Donating?
What is
Instead of
donating?
egging people, we donated them.
Oh my gosh.
You donated
Please
it?
trademark
He
that.
was
That's-
donating
we
to people.
donated.
How would you
Donated.
use that in a sentence if you wanted to say it as if it was past tense, like yesterday?
Kelly got
I
donated.
donated
I
yesterday.
got arrested for donating people.
Can you spell that for me?
Kelly and her
No.
dog were
I
donated
can't spell.
the other day.
All right, sorry, continue.
Yeah. But that's not even the craziest story that I have.
Whoa.
Can I just talk about that? So we would do something similar.
You really fixated on the donuts.
No, I'm fixated on the throwing at vehicles, something.
Yes.
So we
Vehicles or
call
people?
we called it bombing.
Okay,
So
you
my
called it
friends bombing. My friends and I we would bomb. So we would use lemons And,
Dude, that's
For a second, I
aggressive.
thought he meant like actual bombs. Okay, go.
no, not like
I
James.
was like, wait a second.
I'm trying to like do the whole
You would
thing
throw
against the Patriot
lemons?
Act.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
so we would like grab lemons from like a lemon tree or somewhere like that, and then we would stand behind a wall of where we lived, and so like the cars were there was a street behind that wall, and they would just be driving like probably 35, 40 miles per hour. So it was perfect speed. It wasn't too fast, but it wasn't too slow. So we would just like oh, car's coming, okay, and then we just try to get the windshield or the side like part of the car, and you would hear it, and boom, and then some people would just keep on going, and then sometimes I remember one night, dude, like this guy must have been like a 30-year-old guy, and we were young, like he stopped his car like immediately, jumped out of his car, and he's like, what the, did that, blah blah, and we got scared, so we like rushed it, and then we were like hiding by my house. And we actually saw the guy running like in the street, like looking for someone.
What?
Like he was ready to kill someone. Like it was aggressive and crazy.
That actually.
My question is, why didn't you start with that story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened with?
I have long-term memory loss.
You too?
I need like inspiration to remember something, and then I'll talk about.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you guys a story.
I suck at it.
I'm gonna give you guys a story that happened to us. So, what we used to do
He didn't
was
dab me up.
we called this thing. We would me and family member Bob and another Bob would like to go out, and I think I've told it on the podcast a couple times. We would go out and we would call it rage, and
It was
we would-
Isaac.
Well, Isaac and someone else,
Oh.
and we would pretty much
Tony.
create roadblocks
Nah, Tony's not a
made out of trash cans. One more second.
Need for Speed.
We would create roadblocks in the middle of the street. So we actually started like telling some other friends, and then we got another person to join us, and it was 3 of us that night. And we went and we did like some crazy stuff. We literally put random stuff on the middle of like the main streets and like blocking off. Like that was one of the biggest things. We blocked off like a main street, and we put a like a one of those boxes for the beds,
Box frame.
the box frame,
Oh, okay.
the actual frame,
Or the
on
box frame.
top of a couple cars because we found a couple of them. So we put them on top of a car. This was in the middle of the night. This is like 3 in the morning. So we left there by like I think it was like 4:30. We started seeing that this car kept following, like kept like
Coming back and forth.
coming back and forth, and eventually they kind of like started like noticing like, oh, there's someone over there there's 3 people over there wearing all black, let me come this way. So we started like running into like certain areas to try to hide, and then the car would like pass, but then we would like keep moving and the car would pass again and we'd hide again, and we keep doing that, and we like try to like evade them as much as possible. We ended up calling this guy Quincy. We don't know who he was, we don't know his actual name, but we called him Quincy. So Quincy actually cornered us because we were running and we're like, oh man, like we're getting to like a very very open area, and we didn't want to like get caught, like because this guy has his headlights on the entire time. So we jump into like this house that has like a little bit of a driveway into it, and then the rest of it is like it's the garage
And the wall. or
that's
fence,
it,
and
like
that's
the wall and then the neighbor's house, but like you can't really go anywhere else. It's just the house. So it's the garage. The garage is obviously closed. There's a gate, like a wooden gate, maybe like the size of like a regular small gate, closed. We're kind of boxed in, but we found like this little planter right next to the driveway, so we hid right there. So we see this car. It's slowly creeping in and slowly passing us, and then right when it's gonna go into like past the house, it stops, and we just see the back of the taillights hit the brake, and
Puts
then
it in
the car,
reverse.
he puts it in reverse, and then he puts it in park, and he opens the door. Instantly, we're like, Isaac was like, he's the fastest one out of all of us. He's about to like book it towards him and like to the left, and he was already saying like, get up, let's go, and like he starts booking it, and I get up, and I'm just like, oh, like I kind of like almost froze because I'm like, I don't want to go over there. Like most likely he's gonna catch me first, because it's like you have to run up this driveway and either turn left to get away from him, or turn right and then he can get in his car and just follow you either way.
Oh yeah.
Or he could bust a U-turn, and it's a distance before you get to like the next area.
Okay.
Right before I got up, because he got up and he was already quick. He was already like almost halfway through the
driveway?
The driveway. Isaac was. I'm about to get up, our friend Bob, he gets up and he's like, F this, turns around, gets the gate, and just busted it open, and forces his way into this person's house. And I'm like, I'm going with Bob. Like, I'm not gonna risk it that way. So I literally said, like, Isaac, come over here. And like, he stopped, hit the brakes, came back. I jumped through. I'm like forcing the gate because this guy's smaller than me. So I'm forcing the gate even further open. Like, he broke this thing. He like hooked it right off. It's like a wooden one. So I force it open further. Then Isaac comes in, and we start like walking through, and like, boom, lights start turning on in the house, and we're like, oh my goodness, like we're literally on
You
the
guys
side
were
of this
in the
house.
house
No,
or
not
the-
in the house,
Like in
like
the back.
Okay.
in the back of the house,
Yeah.
Backyard.
in the backyard. We started seeing like lights. There was like someone in the dining room area, and we're just kind of like, oh man, like the lights we could still see for the car. Someone was coming up the driveway. These people are inside their house turning on the lights. Like, they just heard a loud noise, and we're like creeping through trying to get to it, like the back of the house. And I don't even know what we're doing. I don't even know what the plan is right now. So we end up jumping over this giant wall. It was way too tall to even really do it because we both had to lift each other up. So I lifted Bob up. He got up and he like got on the wall on the top of it. I like jumped up, grabbed his arm. He helped me up, and then Isaac, since he was like the fastest one and like probably the best hops, he runs up and like somehow he does it all by himself without any help. So he gets up there, we jump over, we land in this area, and we're like, what the heck? Like, it's tall grass, like up to your like probably like up to your chest, like tall grass, like for a good distance. It's someone's backyard. So we start walking, and we're like, all right, just be quiet, like something's going on over there, because like they're going into the backyard, and like it's the homeowner. So we start walking, and then Isaac tells us like, oh, hold on here. He goes up, and he goes up all the way to the front of this random person's house, because we just jumped over from one backyard to another backyard. So he goes up, and then he's looking up the street because it's technically higher. Like, their backyard is higher than this backyard.
Okay.
And he's like, the car's coming around.
The same car?
So the same car, Quincy. He's coming around, and he starts driving up. And he's like, he tells me and Bob to stay over here, and we lay down on the grass. And we're just laying down, and it's like, it's tall. You can barely see anything. So the car comes up, drives into that other driveway. Dude, we drove up into his house.
To Quincy's house?
To Quincy's house. Because this fool gets off his car, goes into the house. We see the lights turn on, gets to the backyard, turns on the light for the back porch light, and we're just like, oh man. Opens the door, and Isaac's the closest one. So he's up front. Then it's me, and then Bob's right behind me. He pretty much, this is what he told me. He saw the door open, and he sees the guy Quincy come up, and he's like, "Get him, boy. Let's go." This dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was. Isaac says, I think he said it might have been like a Rottweiler. This dog is huge. Comes out running, and since it's tall grass, all he said he saw was like bouncing, a dog's head just bouncing, like he was coming full force. So he says like, run, and like jump back over the fence. So we jumped over the fence like quickly because we were right next to it. He comes up running, and he's like, somehow like does a Matrix trick and like gets on top of the wall real quick, jumps over. We jump over, go back through the same gate that we just broke, where the homeowner is probably still somewhere around the house. Go up the driveway, take a right, and just book it. And we ended up by one of the junior colleges around there, and we just hid. We were literally all like cramped up in like this one little area of the campus that we're like, okay, they're definitely not gonna find us here, and if they do, we're gonna just run. But yeah, towards the end of the day, we just kind of like slowly made our way the long way around and back to our my house, and yeah, so we almost got killed by a dog, and the guy almost caught us.
That's crazy. Quincy was determined, dude.
Yeah,
Quincy, man.
I would have shot you guys. They're my property now.
Yep.
but yeah, that was crazy.
That's crazy.
So,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But probably not as crazy as James' story.
Oh, James.
Tell us about the
Oh,
chickens
man.
first.
Whoa.
Well, first that's really hard to follow because I can't think of many times where my life's been in danger. But
it always is, James. It always
yeah,
is.
that's,
It always
I mean,
is.
there's definitely probably at least a few instances, but so this particular story, I grew up in an apartment community that was right off of a main road, and like by the apartment community, we had this like little shopping center, and there was this mini mart, but it was like an Asian market, so they sold all these like goods from like Asian countries that you couldn't get here in the U.S.
Sriracha.
And we found out about these eggs called beluga, and they're I guess like a beluga.
Beluga.
I might be
like
saying it
beluga,
wrong.
Beluga.
It's like BULUG, I believe.
Beluga.
They're a delicacy in the Philippines. They're what they are. They're every time I saw them, they were purple. They're like, I don't know how they do this. Like it's premature baby chicken. So like there's like a baby chicken inside the egg. It's dead, but it's not like just like a yolk. Like it's literally like
The-
a,
it's
a
still in
tiny
there.
little
fetus of
Yeah,
the-
it's like a baby fetus
That's how they
chicken.
make. That's how they make chicken nuggets. I think.
Yeah.
That's not.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it.
I'm craving McDonald's now.
Yeah, so like
Thanks to our sponsor, McDonald's.
people,
As you
eat
can
these
tell, he
things.
loves it. He's really loving it.
Huh? He's really what?
He's really loving it.
I'm really loving it.
Yeah, so like people eat this stuff like
Right.
in
Right.
other countries. It's absurd to me.
That's how
but,
coronavirus started, dude.
but me and my friends, we were
only
like
it wasn't that. But.
probably the same thing, like 12, 13 years old. And there was like a group of us, like
It's the vampiro.
I'll make up fictitious names. There was Jaw, Tosh, and Birdman.
Birdman.
Birdman. He could fly anywhere. Yeah. Birdman, since I'm not going to use his real name, he actually literally would go around.
He looks like a bird.
No, he would go around making those sounds.
Bird
Like that's
noises?
how I met him. He would just be walking around going. "Brrr, brrr."
We need Birdman in here
yeah,
one day.
we should get Birdman.
Yeah.
So we would all save up our money, like our lunch money from the week. I just wouldn't eat at school. Like I would just starve myself every single day. Wait till I get home, and like the $5 or whatever that my mom would give me a day for food, I would save, and
Buy
we'd all
drugs.
save our money till the end of the week, and we'd go to this mini mart, and we would buy as many of these beluga eggs as we could. And so
Baby
where our apartment was situated, there was this like, there was only one main entrance, so it worked out perfectly if you had to get away. But it was right off a main road, and there was like by the main entrance there was like the main like a fencing in front of the apartment community
Oh.
for us to duck behind. And so we would go out middle of the day, like on a Friday afternoon after we got out of school, buy a bunch of these eggs. We'd have them, I can't remember if we'd have them in buckets or what, but we would just have these eggs, and we would start launching them at the cars.
The baby egg.
Coming across the intersection. And I mean, like, we would just hit a ton of cars. A lot of people just wouldn't stop, but there'd been, occasions where people would, like, stop and try to come into the community, and we would just be able to
But they
book
wouldn't
it.
be able to.
Yeah, because there was one entrance, and, like, we knew where it was, and so we would just book it and, like, hide. So, like, we never ever got caught.
Right.
And I mean, like, even by the police, like,
Nice.
LVPD, you can't touch me, like there's been multiple
Thanks to our
instances where
sponsor, LVPD.
LVPD,
Yeah.
thank you for your service.
FBI, LVPD, like
You didn't catch
but-
up bad.
yeah, like the police would try to come by, like, because I'm sure they would get calls about it. But yeah, so like these poor people, because like I don't know if you guys know, but like egg itself, like it
Yeah,
messes
it's
up
like
a
a
car's
domestic-
paint.
Yeah, the paint.
Yeah, like
Or the
you're-
clear coat or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
you have to pretty much get your car repainted. But not only did they have that, now they have like a dead little baby.
A dead little
chicken.
baby. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
You're driving. You're having a good day. You're listening. Maybe
Yeah,
it's Friday.
Or you're having a
And
bad
just
day
getting off of
already.
work. It's Friday.
gotta get down on Friday.
You're listening to that. You're bumping. All of a sudden, boom! A dead chicken in your windshield. It's like, what the?
No, you know what's crazy? It's probably like this old lady, just
Oh, yeah.
driving
Poor
around.
lady.
She's driving. It's probably on a Friday. She's probably listening to Friday,
It's right.
and she's driving, and she just sees, whoop-ass, dead little baby chicken. She's like, oh my goodness, I just killed
this
it.
baby.
I just killed the preborn. And
Chicken.
a bird just like released it.
It fell out of its nest.
It fell out of
released
its.
it early.
Was it
pregnant-
a highway or something like that?
A pregnant
No, it was just
bird.
Main Street.
No,
Like
it's
one
the
of,
main
like, a
street, yeah.
cross section.
She's devastated.
And that wasn't like the only thing. So like
Whoa.
in Vegas, like it's really easy to obtain illegal fireworks. There's like a lot of Indian reservations around where like all throughout the year you can buy it.
But those are legal.
No, they're illegal. Like
Yeah.
they're still
No, they are.
they're illegal. Yeah, they're legal
Oh.
on the Indian reservation,
They're
but
legal
like
or illegal?
illegal.
Illegal.
Illegal. So
Okay.
like but
But they're
they're
allowed.
legally you can sell them at the Indian reservation.
Right.
So they're legally illegal.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
It's weird. So like if you have
Then
them
it
in
cancels out.
Las Vegas, they're considered illegal, but like
So they're
these
legal.
Indian-
They're legal to sell, but not legal to use.
No.
Yeah, well, 'cause-
So in
'cause-
that certain section,
Right.
it's legal.
yeah.
No.
If you take them out of there and go to like the strip, it's illegal.
Well, so the city of
It's
Las
like
Vegas,
it's like Pyru. You can buy them there, but you're not allowed to use them anywhere else in Ventura County.
Right.
Why-
Yeah,
It's the
exactly
only
that.
place you can buy them and use them.
Yeah.
Sorry, James.
Oh no, what I was gonna say is like I don't know how it works here, but like in Nevada, like Indian reservations are considered their own jurisdiction, like,
Yeah.
their own land.
Yeah.
So like there it's legal, but in like a city of
Yeah, it's
Nevada,
illegal.
like it's considered illegal.
Yeah.
You know, that brings up a question. So, are Indian? So those Indian what you call them?
Reservations?
Indian
Yeah.
reservations, are they part of America?
They are, but they're also their own.
Think about it like it's private property.
Yeah, they're private.
I
big
can do
private
whatever
properties.
I want on private property.
That's why a lot of the Native Americans or the tribes have their own like businesses, as in like casinos and stuff, because they're not charged taxes or they don't have to like they're not. Yeah. They're,
So are they more like
they're
their
able
own
to do
city
whatever
in a sense?
In a way,
Kind
yeah,
of.
man.
They're
Yeah.
a little city. Oh, okay.
And they're protected, you know,
Yeah.
Okay.
because of what James's people did to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James's
Yeah.
people.
My people in particular.
Not my people.
Yeah.
Not our people.
Not our people.
Yeah.
Not Americans.
Actually, I don't know.
Just-
My people are. I'm Mexican. I'm pure Mexican. That's it.
It was my
I
I
believe
think
it.
we're all pure. Oh, I know. With the exception
Yeah.
of James.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
I
all
guess you guys.
Italian.
Mexicano.
Not Chicano.
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 Chicanos. You guys are
but-
Chicano. I'm actually Mexican. I was
Yeah.
born in Mexico. My parents are Mexican. My grandparents are.
I actually convinced a couple of my friends that I was pure Mexican.
Mexican.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you didn't even know English.
Like no. Like I just told them like, yeah, no, I was born in Mex,
Oh yeah.
and they just believed me. Like I think I was going through my wallet and they saw something green and they're like, is that a green card? And I just went along with it. I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh shoot,
Yeah.
like,
You're like,
you weren't
oh,
supposed to see that.
Oh no.
And
You
they're
tuck
like,
it in.
yeah.
It's a bus
I was like,
pass.
oh, you weren't supposed to see that. And then
It's a
he was
library
like,
card.
dude,
It's a
you
library
were
card.
born in Mex. And I was like, yeah.
See.
Oh.
I was
Seaway.
born in Mex, yeah.
The hard streets of Tijuana.
Yeah.
Tough.
Okay, tell us about
Alright.
that other crazy story. The
Oh,
apartment one.
Well, so what I was getting at was like not only did we throw eggs,
Oh, the fireworks. Yeah.
but we would buy bottle rockets and like in
Oh.
front of the fence. So on the side, like city side, where you have the city sidewalk and everything, there was trees and grass, and so we would plant the sticks to the bottle rockets into the grass, facing at the street, and we would take tons of them. And we would light them all at once, and they would shoot off directly at cars. Yeah.
Sheesh.
I don't know if we caused any accidents. My memory's a little bit foggy, and I don't want to incriminate myself, so I'm not going to say much more than that, but good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta tell you guys about what me and Isaac used to do with. Okay, so the most that we could get was like those little poppers. So you just light them and they just pop. So we got crazy. I remember it was me, Isaac, and Jacob, and we decided to make our own firework. And we started messing with it. So we stripped a firework of like the little popper ones that we would find. That you'd light and they just pretty much pop. Stripped it of its casing, and we found ornaments. And we started filling them up with gas.
The ornaments.
The ornaments, because they're hollow. So if you take the plastic ornaments, you
Uh-huh.
remove the cap off of
Yeah,
it.
you could put like
You
You
whatever.
can, you can put liquids in there. So we filled them up with gas.
What kind of gas?
Just gasoline.
Gasoline.
Gas-
Like,
Gasoline.
you went to a
Dang,
gas pump.
This
No,
was
no,
back
no.
when it was cheap,
No,
though.
This we were
Oh,
like
the good old days, dude.
We must have been like
That was back when.
Where'd you get the gas
If you spilled
from?
gas, it
It
was
was-
fine, dude.
Yeah.
Now, you're like making sure every drop gets in that tank.
this was back at grandma's house.
But where'd you get the
big
gas?
Grandma?
in the
Abuelita?
backyard where grandpa had
Oh,
everything.
from my gas tank. Okay.
Yeah, he had a gas tank back there.
The gas tank?
Like a
He
little
had a gas
like those
tank.
portable gas
Oh,
tanks.
like the
Those
red
little
ones?
little
Yeah.
portable ones. So we would
Yeah.
take
I have
some of
one of
that
those.
and put it into these ornaments because it was like they'd stored all the stuff in the backyard.
Yeah.
We'd get them and we'd fill them up with gas
Uh-huh.
and then surprisingly, the firework was the same size as that little capsule. We'd put it right in
Drop
there,
it in.
and it'd be snug.
That is so dangerous, though,
Yes.
because it
No.
releases the gases. So that's highly flammable.
No, it's even worse because
They lit it up.
we lit it up, and we lit a couple of those up, and they blow up
Immediately.
like crazy because they immediately blow up. You light them. We got behind a couple obstacles, but there was just it pops and lights up because it's flammable.
Yeah.
It makes a little like flame bomb,
Yeah,
and then
and
they
it-
fly
Yeah.
different directions with the little
All the
shards of
debris.
plastic. Yeah.
That reminds me of one time me and Tim, because that was at Grandma's.
Grandma's
you know,
back-
that
yeah.
night. So
Train
that
tracks.
That place
Oh,
was
nice
like
house.
right
Right
behind
behind
it. So what we would do is, so behind
The lemon curve, right?
Think about behind.
By the 101, like in front of the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
think,
was called
think
the
of that
lemon curve.
house, like so behind that house, there's like obviously a wall, just like a
Correct.
fence, and then it's just the train tracks. So what me and Tim would do sometimes, we'd get little rocks, we'd put them on the train tracks, put them on the train tracks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so when the train would
Oh,
come, we'd hide, we'd hide and stuff, and it would just sound like shots, like gunshots, because those rocks would just boom, boom, boom,
Then
boom.
we
So it'd
get
be
like split in half or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and they just fly.
They'd be flying and hitting the wall every single time.
Didn't you do that with coins, or someone did it with quarters or something like that?
We would throw tennis balls because they would bounce off the windows.
Oh.
So we would actually throw it at the windows, though.
Oh, you would throw it at the train?
Yeah. So we'd have tennis balls. We threw rocks at that. We put metal rods on the train tracks.
So one time me
I'm
and
incriminating
Tim,
myself right now.
like we felt guilty. We're like,
They're looking for
dude,
the people with that.
we could kill like so many people right now. So there was this huge rock, like a humongous rock, dude, that I couldn't lift it by myself. He couldn't lift it, but together we could lift it, like barely, but we could lift
Yeah,
it
together.
just on the
We can
side,
lift
just
it.
on the side of the train.
Yeah, the track.
Teamwork makes the dream
Yeah,
work.
so we were thinking like, you know what? I think we had it on there for a bit. We put it like we both lifted it up super heavy. Like we were probably both like 12 years old or something. So it was kind of heavy, but like obviously enough for us to put it on. So we put it on there, and it's just like this gigantic rock in the middle of the train tracks, and we're just thinking like, dude, we're gonna derail this train, dude. And we felt like a little convicted. We're like a little guilty, So we're just like, nah, let's not do this. Like
You
we
took-
can't
yeah,
put
push
this
it
on our
off.
conscience, So we ended up taking it off.
I would have done it.
But
Dude,
dude,
I
it
put a
definitely-
metal rod. Me and Isaac found a metal rod, and it was the size of the table, and we put it and it hit both sides of the rails,
Right.
and we walked away from it. It didn't
But I'm sure
derail
it
it,
slid
but
it off,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure that thing just shattered and
Destroyed
like
it.
launched it. Maybe even
Yeah.
got
I'm sure.
lodged
A train's
underneath.
powerful.
But dude, that rock, like think about it. If that rock stayed on there, there's no like it wouldn't kick it off because it was inside. It was
huge.
inside. The
Oh,
rail.
inside there.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story is don't hang out with Isaac. He's a bad influence, and you guys, if you hang out with him, you might derail a train, or
Yeah.
even worse.
Or Tim.
I was gonna say in Vegas, apparently I had an easier time obtaining like harmful materials because like not only did we get bottle rockets, but I think it was M80s.
Oh, the big
yeah.
ones.
M80s.
Not M80. It was like something under
those
an
are, like,
M80.
the
Yeah, the smaller ones,
rectangular
like
ones?
smaller,
What?
like pretty much essentially
Wait.
like small dynamite sticks.
What are
Little
M80s?
that-
Oh,
they're
Like
like-
they're a firework.
Fireworks.
It's like a bigger cherry bomb.
I was thinking
and
of
so
a gun
like
for
these
some reason.
ones were,
No.
we could get waterproof ones. Like it's the trippiest thing. Don't know the science
Oh,
behind it, but
that's
you light
pretty
it
cool.
and you can
Waterproof.
throw it into the
Water?
water. So we would
It'll blow
like in
up?
the apartment community and at school we would bring them and we would take it and blow up the toilets.
Oh,
Dude,
Oh,
I
it'll
did.
break 'em, dude.
I did that once,
Right.
but like it was a toilet that they threw away in the trash can.
And you
We
wanted
got
to
a
see it?
firework and threw it in there, and that porcelain blows up.
Yeah.
So the fact that you did it at school,
Dude, I don't do fireworks anymore. In December,
wanna-
this last December, real quick, I was using fireworks, and it was one of
In
those like little ones that
September?
go. No, December.
Oh,
Did I
December?
say September? December. This last
Uh-huh.
December, I got shot in the face with one.
the
There was
ones that go flying up.
yeah, so but it takes a couple seconds, and then you just kind of walk away, and then you're good. But
You were
as soon as I
checking
lit
on
it up, it just and then it hit me in the face like and in my eye too. So my eye got all swelled up.
that's
and
why you look funny.
I'm always looking.
That was last December.
Oh.
It's the side effects of getting shot in the face with a firework. But yeah, I don't do fireworks anymore.
No,
Don't do
Dude,
them.
one time, did we ever tell you about Operation Las Cruces?
no.
Dude, me and Tim. Oh man, I kind of want to save that story, but that was a good story.
You want to save the story? We can save it.
Oh,
because
James was gonna
I
say
have a
something.
couple other
I'm gonna
stories
save it.
that's
Say
like.
something,
I'm gonna save it for the next.
I know.
episode.
Let's finish off with. Yeah, let's finish off with James's story,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we'll save yours for the next
Yeah.
one.
I just because like apparently I've did a lot of debauchery and horrible things when I was a kid. I just want to preface this and say that
All of
I
us
have
did.
Jesus
He
now.
still has.
We're all
God is
saved.
good. Like,
Amen.
thank you,
Got it.
Jesus.
Amen.
So
See.
back when I was younger, I was very careless, and I didn't.
Still
really,
is.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
But older.
Baby J, I'm a good
Baby
influence.
J.
I promise. But so we had a friend of ours who, in our apartment community, where clearly we were just baby kids and doing whatever we wanted. It was like an anarchist society. So we knew that her family was moving out, but they had left the unit vacant and unlocked. And so they were like moved out. It was probably the same night they moved out. A bunch of us went late at night, and we took like whatever we could find, like condiments, stuff like that, like spraying ketchup and mustard and like stuff all over the walls. But the worst part was, and we didn't think about it till after the fact, we started plugging up and flooding the toilets. And apparently they were running all night. And so the unit was
Flooded.
completely
You
flooded.
flooded the
Trashed. Like, we broke all the cabinets, all this stuff. Like, put ketchup and mustard and like all sorts of nasty stuff. So the walls are just like thrashed. The carpet completely destroyed. The unit flooded, and it flooded the unit below. And us as teenagers, like, we didn't think of any repercussions. But the girl like winds up calling one of my friends, crying, because her mother had to pay for all of the damages. And this is why I need Jesus, because they asked us, like, hey, you guys were the only ones that knew that, like, we left the unit open. Like, did you guys have anything to do with this? And I said,
Nope.
Nope. I was sleeping. You're like, no. I was.
He slept like a baby that night.
Yeah.
James was like, "Nah, dude. Like that was pretty dumb that you guys left it closed. You left it open."
Like, nah, I don't even like ketchup.
He's like, you guys are irresponsible.
Like, how'd you know there was ketchup on the wall?
Should have locked the
Yeah,
door.
should've.
How old were you, James?
I was like 13.
So you had a conscience.
Yeah.
Nah, but you don't know anything. You know,
Well,
you're just
yeah.
a little
Well,
dumb kid.
my parents weren't going to pay for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's messed up, though.
Oh.
Messed up.
Do you want to look into the camera and apologize to that friend?
I am so sorry.
They declared bank.
He said it so. He said it.
That was so
That was
genuine.
so not genuine.
No,
James,
but
James, like, I'm sorry.
James, they declared bankruptcy after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
3
Dude,
times.
they couldn't even like afford the
Three.
new
No, the
apartment.
worst part too, it gets even worse. Her mother like had a hard time finding a job because she was
Oh,
an
man.
illegal immigrant.
Oh.
So like she could only work
dude.
like under the table job.
This is the type of stuff
So-
that his people do to our
Yeah.
people,
Right?
His
Yeah.
He's
So-
Italian.
Still, it doesn't matter. He's
Yeah.
white as toilet paper.
Damn Italians, man.
So I'm sure it took a while to pay off those damages.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to you and your family.
Maria and Guadalupe.
Guadalupe, Lupita, Jose,
Maria, Jose,
Luis, all the
Fernando.
sons.
I promise I'm a better person. I've learned
Yeah.
from
I
that
don't know.
experience.
He's learned.
He
Yeah.
said he's sorry.
Yeah.
Is he though?
Genuinely.
Allegedly, he did that.
Genuinely.
Allegedly, he's
All right, we'll finish it there. Great way to start season 2, episode 1. Tune in next Tuesday for episode Dose, season Dose. Peace out.
Wait, that was the end of season 1.
That was
No,
the end of.
I
no,
thought this is the beginning of season 2.
this is
Yeah.
the beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
That's why I said
Episode
And,
one.
season
oh,
2,
episode one,
episode
two
minutes.
Season 2.
1
Season
See-
2, episode 2
is the next
is the
one.
next one.
Yeah.
The next one. Thank you for our sponsors, Copper Rose Plumbing,
Camelone,
Mark
Stay
Antonio
Fresh,
Consulting.
Stay Hitting,
Mark and Tony Consulting,
CHP.
Camelone,
The
CHP.
Highway Patrol for giving us this time together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty then.